Genetics is the study of how organisms pass on traits to their offspring. To study this, we kind of have to know where the organisms store the traits to begin with. And they store them in what we call genetic material, or DNA, also known as deoxyribose nucleic acid. And it's a molecule that has a very particular shape. So I'm going to draw this out here, right next to the words here. Now it kind of looks like a ladder that's twisted. So we're going to draw both sides of the ladder, and we're going to put the rungs on the ladder. And on each side you have a letter. You can see the letter of DNA are A, T, C, and G. There are 4 letters. So all of life, everything that looks the way it does, is because of 4 letters, compared to like English language, which has 26 letters. So we're making our DNA up here, and we have an A, for example, on this side. Just like English letters, there's many different combinations, so I'm kind of making this up as we go. Let's say G, C, T, A. Now on the other side, you're going to match. Remember, this is the way they match. A always goes with T, C always goes with G. So on this side, you'll have T, A, C, G, A, T, T. Now this goes on for a very long distance. DNA is so long, and there's so much of it in every cell. If you took all of the DNA out of all of your cells, now that's all the DNA in your entire body, and you strung it all together, if it was a string, you strung it all together, it would go across the solar system 2 times. That's if it was a string. Now it's not the thickness of a string though, it's very, very small. Now all of life contains DNA, and DNA is located in every cell. So humans have many cells. Some organisms are just 1 cell. But humans, we have many cells, and in every cell you have DNA. So let's say we're going to take a little piece of DNA, 1 cell from our arm there. That's a cell. In the nucleus of that cell, you have your DNA. If you look at this picture of DNA, you'll see that DNA is not straight like a ladder, but instead coils into what we call an alpha helix. Now remember, the base pairs are A and T, C, and G, but those actually are letters that stand for something. So A pairs with T, but that is actually adenine pairing with thymine. And G pairs with C, and that is guanine pairing with cytosine. We call those base pairs. So I'm going to write base pair over here. Base pairs. And base pairs are what give us the code. It's the language of DNA. In the human body, in 1 cell, you have 3 billion base pairs. Now before we move on, I do want to talk about what a gene is. DNA is what holds the genes. The letters are what code for the gene. So every one of these pair of sequences is a gene or has some type of meaning. For example, maybe there's a gene here, and maybe that's for your eyes, eye color. And maybe down here there's hair color. The human body has about 20 to 25,000 different genes. So notice this right here, these are your genes stored in DNA in the nucleus of the cell. This, on the other hand, I'm talking about this and your eye color. These are the traits. Physically can be seen. So traits are the way you look and function. Traits. And genes are the letters. Genes give you your traits. This is going to come up again later as we start talking a little bit more in depth about genetics. So we saw that genes are a sequence of letters stored in DNA. So this is DNA, and the genes are stored. This might be one gene. Well, DNA is very long and it needs to be coiled. And this coil, super coiled, it actually coils around proteins very, very tightly, and this is what we call a chromosome. So a chromosome is a giant strand of supercoiled DNA. Humans have 23 pairs of chromosomes, 46 total. So you're going to get one from your father, one from your mother, 23 times. You have 23, so this might be the first pair all the way to your 23rd pair. 23 pairs, 46 total. These are very important numbers for you to remember. Not all animals have the same number of chromosomes. The great white shark in this picture has 86 chromosomes. And the Atlas blue butterfly right there has 448 chromosomes.